All right. Hello, everybody. Hey, thanks so much for joining us today. My name is Dontravius Simmons. I'm the Director of Teen Services for the Boys and Girls Club of Albany, Georgia. Today, we're so fortunate to have with us, joining us today on our Career and Will segment, none other than Miss Destiny Kincannon, who is better known as Miss Destiny Inspired, the empowerment person of herself. She is a empowerment speaker, a master certified women's life coach, a best-selling author, and CEO of Destiny Inspire LLC. And so we're so excited to have her on today. I'm not going to spill much of the beans about her today. I'm going to allow her to do that as well. And then our next guest is going to be Mr. Kevin Mays II, who is a lifelong native of Flint, Michigan, and also is the new franchise owner of Flint United, which is a basketball league, an American-based professional basketball league that currently resides in 23 markets across the country. And so we're so excited to have them on today to share with our Boys and Girls Club of Albany, Georgia teams and other club members. And so today our team who will be interviewing our special guest will be none other than Mr. Shamar Lane himself. And so I'm going to allow Mr. Lane to introduce himself.
Thank you, Mr. Simmons. Again, as he said, my name is Shamar Lane. I'm a 15-year-old junior at Monroe Comprehensive High School, and I enjoy doing music, and I enjoy dealing with technology and things in criminal justice.
All righty. So at this time, we're going to kick it off with none other than Miss Destiny herself and Mr. Shamar Lane.
Hi.
Hello.
How are you, Shamar?
I'm doing great. I'm doing great.
Awesome. I'm excited to be here, and I thank you guys for having me on with the Boys and Girls Clubs of Albany. And so I'm excited for your Career on Wheels Day. I'm excited to be here to share with you all.
Thank you. Thank you. And so we're just going to jump right into the questions. So my first question is, what educational preparation would you recommend for someone who wants to advance in this field?
Okay, so great question. Thank you for that. So I guess I should give a little background about the field that I'm actually in to better be able to explain the question. So I am, as it was kindly stated, a Master Certified Life Coach for women, also a best-selling author, as well as a transformational public speaker. And so in my field, in my industry, the education requirements, it really is contingent upon what area it is that you want to go in with speaking, either being an author or a life coach. Again, it is for me, it's entrepreneurship. So I am my own CEO, boss, and all of that good stuff. For me, a basic educational background is definitely needed because you're going to need those core essential skills and values that are going to be able to be transferable to whatever you do. So of course, your primary schooling, college is recommended, but it's not a requirement. So I don't like to really force that upon people to think that they have to go on a particular degree area to do what it is that I do. Again, I am a business owner, so business is always an amazing thing to do. Public speaking is always amazing to do. Really the core foundation. What's most important when it comes to education, I like to take it from a quote from one of my favorite books, which is Think and Grow Rich. And in that book, Think and Grow Rich, they talk about Henry Ford, and they talk about him being a man of education, which is interesting because although he did not completely have an abundance of degrees or things other people had, they really break down the word education, which at the root, educo, Latin, it means to draw out from within, right? And so really education is the ability to be able to obtain whatever it is, the object of your desire, without being able to infringe upon the rights of others. So I really recommend having a strong educational background as far as educational success, which I know is part of the success equation with the Boys and Girls Clubs of Albany. Academic success is important. And so really whatever area that you want to go in, I really hone in on identifying your skill sets and then going into a area of study in school that is going to really refine those skill sets. Because public speaking, you don't have to have a particular degree to be a public speaker, right? You can have a technology degree and still be able to effectively articulate and communicate a message to other people. So really it's an educational field where you feel like you're gonna really get the most out of based on your skill set, based on your abilities, and then based on what you really have a passion to do. And to serve. So if that's business, if that's finances, whatever that is, that's important. Especially if you're going to be a business owner, it's important that you have skills like financial literacy, leadership qualities, communication skills. But all of these skills are transferable skills or portable skills, meaning you can take them in any industry you go in, which is, I think, which has allowed me to have great success and also being a coach, being an author, and then also being a speaker, because I'm able to take those same foundational skills that I learned and transfer it to any area of my business. So that is how I would answer that question for you.
Very great answer. Great, very, very great answer. And I guess that would kind of go into my next question is, what do you find most enjoyable about your job?
Yes. So what I find most enjoyable about my job is the ability to impact and change lives of other people. For me, I firmly believe that regardless of what you do, what area you're in, what your career or profession is, the basis of it is to be able to solve a problem. Like, we are problem solvers, not just in business, but with our lives. Our lives are called to solve some type of problem and pain point. So for me, being able to go into different organizations, whether I'm going in as a speaker, being able to coach particular women in their life in areas of development and growth and goal setting, or if I'm writing a book to convey a message, it's important for me that I'm able to change lives. So that's the most enjoyable part of what it is that I do. And that's what I always preach to other people, whatever they're looking at becoming a speaker or wanting to be a life coach or even being an author, is not just providing inspiration, because that's good. I want to inspire you to do something, but not just providing motivation either, which is also good. I want to motivate you to move, but ultimately transformation is my goal. I want people who work with me, whether I'm there to present a presentation by way of communication and speaking, whether I'm there to coach or facilitate growth and personal development, or whether I am writing something that's going to spark some type of change in you. I love to see people's lives transform and change. That's the entire reason why I chose this industry and why I chose to do this particular profession for my career.
Thank you. And just reading about your business, you definitely have changed lives and done things that a lot of people can't do. Or so you've definitely taken what you have and created something that will help a lot of people.
That means a lot coming from the 15-year-old creative, amazing person as yourself. So thank you.
Thank you. My next question is, why do you think people leave this field or this company?
Great question. Great question. So again, I feel like a reason why a lot of people leave this field or this industry is because their heart really isn't in it. When you first start out to do, whether you want to be any type of coach, I'm a life coach, transformational coach, but there's many types of avenues of coaching that you can do, or even speaking, or even being an author. You're not going to see immediate results. Even entrepreneurship as a whole, if we want to call that part of the career as a whole, you're not going to see instantaneous results. It's not like something where you do it today and tomorrow, you know, you're rich, you got money, or you're successful. It takes time. And so with anything in life that's worth having, it's worth fighting for. And so with this particular industry that I'm in, or with my career as an entrepreneur, it's a daily process. You get up every day. You get up every day and you do the monotonous thing day after day after day. And if I can speak to our generation, we're in the grind culture. So we're always on our grind, but we don't really look at what grind really means, because the grind is that monotonous thing that you do day in and day out. There's nothing beautiful about it. There's nothing enticing about it. There's nothing flashy about it. But when you're committed to something, you're able to put in the hard work for it and do it every day, day in and day out. My phone is not always ringing off the hook with bookings and you know, being called to come speak. My clientele isn't always skyrocketing out the roof with people calling to work with me. So some days you're going to have your peaks and your valleys, but that's with any type of business. So especially when you're an entrepreneur, you're going to have those moments even more so, because the results you get are directly tied to the work that you're willing to put into it. So many people leave this area and leave this industry because they don't have the heart for it and they don't have the patience for it. And when I say the heart for it, again, my reason for doing this is to transform lives. So if you are in it for any other reason and you don't begin to see those results, it's going to be easy to quit, which is why I focus, even with my clients and when I speak to people, I focus on what are your core values, meaning what is that thing that's going to keep you connected no matter what happens. And I look at it like the core of anything. The core of the apple is the middle, right? If you're boxing or if anyone's into sports, you know, the core is when someone hits you, you know, right there in your gut. That's your core. So I like to use that example. When life comes to hit you in your core, because it will, that's what it does, you have to have something that it's going to hit, and that is your core values. So for me, my core values is my faith. My core values is integrity. My core values is resiliency. Those are my core values. And so being able to hold on to that is what allows me to stay successful and relevant in my industry. But it's also the very reason why many people quit and walk away, because they see the really successful people. They see the Tony Robbins, right? The Lester Browns, the Lisa Nichols. They see all of these people and their success and their money, their glamour, but they don't see the progress that they had to make in the process that they had to take in becoming. So even my encouragement to any young people that may be watching this is, when you are going into any type of career, have a heart for it, and then have a why. That why is connected to your core values. So that why is going to keep you there when all else fails. And so finances is a big reason why people walk away, is because you don't make that revenue that you think you're going to make in the first 6 months, in the first year. It takes time. I've been doing this 3 going on 4 years now. And so I haven't always had the best success starting out, but because I had a strong why and I had core values and I knew why I was doing it, it was enough to keep me going and to keep me active. So I think that's the reason why a lot of people leave.
Thank you. And having core values is something that's really, really important. You know, in school, or, you know, being as young as 15, having core values is something that's very,
absolutely. You're never too young to have core values. It's gonna guide you in every area of life, having those core values, because it's also gonna help you identify what's for you and what's not for you. It helps you, even core values as well as mission statements. Vision statements are important, right? And so it's important to have those things, because whatever career you do, whatever field you go in, like, that's going to be the driving force. I love the Boys and Girls Club. I love their mission statement. I love being able to enable young people, especially those who need us most, to reach their full potential as productive, caring, and responsible citizens. So their mission statement, their core values is what keeps them going and keeps them doing what they do. So everything is transferable.
Thank you. I am learning so much in just these 15 minutes. I have learned so much about life. And my last question is, with the work that you are in, would it involve any lifestyle changes such as frequent traveling or late night business entertaining?
It does not require that. That's going to be contingent upon the person and what they want. Prior to COVID, it did require a lot of travel for me, just because I've spoken internationally. I've spoken in many places outside of just where I live at. And so it did require a lot of travel, but it's not a requirement or a necessity. Late nights are not required. Do I put in a lot of late nights? Yes. But I think it's all about balance. It's all about setting your intention. And even as an entrepreneur, the beautiful thing about it is you get to choose what hours you want. You get to choose the lifestyle that you want. So if I could say anything, the only type of lifestyle change it's really going to require is a disciplined lifestyle. If you don't have good discipline, if you don't have good work ethic, if you don't have good perseverance, right? If you don't have these things, that's going to require a lifestyle change, because you're not relying on every 2 weeks, waiting on someone else to write off, sign off on a check for you. You're not just waiting for money to fall in your lap. You have to get up every day and make the decision to go after what you want. For me, it's hunting and farming, right? It's being able to pitch myself, being able to present my product, being able to present my reels, being able to present my packages to people in a way that's enticing and interesting to them. So marketing goes into that, being able to be your own marketer, be a good marketer, a good communicator, communication skills. And so that's the lifestyle. If you don't like talking to people, that's going to require a lifestyle change, because what I do, it's all about communication. It's all about being able to not only give a message, but receive a message, being able to do research and data and disseminate information based on your findings, even if that's giving a message verbally to a organization or to a corporation in order to solve their pain point or help them reach their bottom line. So the lifestyle change, I would say it does require lifestyle change, right? It's going to require that. But as far as late nights, that's contingent upon you. As far as travel in a virtual space right now, is really ideal, because I can still run a profitable business with never leaving my home. I can sit right here and do what I'm doing and look at you in this camera. I have a computer right here. So if I look down, I'm looking at the computer. If I look here, I'm looking at my digital camera. And so being able to stay in one place and not even travel, to be mobile and stationary, it's been a blessing. I miss the interaction. Like in ideal situations, I would like to be right here with you, Shamar, talking to you, giving you a high five or a fist bump. But, due to the world we live in today, that's not possible. But travel, again, it's all contingent upon what it is that you want to do. I coach clients right from home, from my mobile device, from my laptop, from my phone. So it's really contingent upon what you set up for your life and what you desire your schedule to look like. Entrepreneurship, it's a beautiful field, but the lifestyle requires a lifestyle of self-discipline. So if you don't have self-discipline, that is a lifestyle change that you will definitely have to adapt to and adopt.
Yeah, self-discipline is something my mother has always talked to me about since I've been in elementary. Smart woman. So before we close out, I'm just asking, do you have anything you would like to inspire our youth with, or tell them to help them make it through 2021, this beginning of 2021, and times are different now. So do you have any advice on how to make it?
Absolutely. So my advice to anybody listening under the sound of my voice, regardless of what age you are, regardless of where you come from, regardless of your socioeconomic status or background, my advice to you is to remember that you are on this earth for a purpose and a reason. You're not a mistake. You're not an accident. It doesn't matter where you live, where you come from. It doesn't matter who your parents are or if you know who they are. What matters is understanding that you have a purpose on this earth. You were designed and created to make a difference, and you are the solution to a problem. And whatever you choose to do in life is going to be impactful to other people because you are impactful. And my encouragement is to discover your purpose, discover who you are. The Japanese have a term called ikigai, and that term means literally your reason for being. And those people who tap into their ikigai or their purpose are those people who are driven and know that they were made to change the world, and they live a more fulfilled life. I've never felt more fulfilled than I feel now, which is walking in my purpose. And not because I'm an entrepreneur, not because I'm a speaker, a best-selling author, or a women's life coach, but because I found what made life worth living. And so I want to encourage those who are looking for careers, who are looking for what they want to do in life, to know that whatever it is, make sure it's something that you're called to. You don't have to accept what the world gives you. You can be whoever you want to be, whoever you believe in, whoever you feel like they created you to be. You can be that. Don't give up. Have perseverance, have resiliency, establish your core values, and also listen to those who have, as the good book said, that has rule over you. So definitely listen to those who have wisdom, those who have guidance, those in the Boys and Girls Clubs of Albany who are there to help mentor you, guide you, instruct you, because they've been down a path that you dare to take one day. And as long as you listen, as long as you are teachable and you're humble and you're able to apply what they're giving you, you're going to reach success. And so that's what I want to tell them. Don't give up. I don't care if what you want to do seems crazy. I don't care if people don't agree with you. I don't care if people think that that's just insane. If your creator put it in your heart, it's possible. I never thought that I would be doing this as a career. I never thought that my life's work, how I make money, would be contingent upon the one thing that I decided to go after and give it all that I got. So I just want to encourage you to keep going. Don't give up. Life is going to be rough and hard, but you were made for this, right? You're not a mistake. You're not an accident. You're the solution to somebody's problem. So whatever career you choose, put your heart in it, commit to it, establish your core values, have a mission and a vision, and you will be successful.
Thank you. Thank you for educating and encouraging our viewers as well as me. I've learned so much in just this short amount of time.
Awesome. And I want to congratulate you and wish you the best of success and abundant blessings and whatever it is that you desire to do in life, whatever it is life is going to take you. You are more than capable of conquering it. And I look forward to seeing you on the big screen, seeing you in the magazine and Forbes, on Wall Street. I look forward to seeing you everywhere your heart's desire to be. So thank you for even taking the time out of your day for having me. Thank you to the Boys and Girls Club of Albany and those who work so tirelessly to find people to come and to pour into you guys. So thank you so much. It's been my honor to be here.
Thank you. So I think I will turn it back over to Mr. Simmons.
Hey, thank you so much, Miss Destiny. Listen, before you go, I have several teens that are here at our center that's watching. And so one young lady wants to know, how do you set your goals for the year?
Yes. So for the year, I use the SMART goal method, the SMART, SMART goals. So for one, I make sure it's specific, whatever I want, I make sure it's specific. And then I see, is it measurable? How can I measure my growth? How can I measure the success rate to see if I actually reach it? I make sure it is attainable. Is this something that I know I can attain? I don't want to aim too low and hit it because I know I can, but I don't want to make it too high that I know I'm not in the position to be able to put in what it takes to get it. The R, I make sure it's realistic. Is this a realistic goal? Making $1 million might not be realistic for me right now, right? But 6 and 7 figure business, that's very much reality and realistic. And then T, I make sure it's time bound. How can I set a time for this that I can make sure that I can break it down into smaller goals to hit it? So I start with the SMART method when I create my goals. And also, I believe in writing the vision. I know we do vision boards and we put these pretty pictures on it, but I literally write my vision. In my room, I have chart paper that goes all around my wall. And I literally take a marker and I write my goals. I write my vision. I even write my desires. And being able to look at them every day, I don't just create a vision board. I create a vision environment. So everything around me reminds me of my vision, reminds me of my goals. And then I surround myself and associate with good people that exhibit good character traits, that exhibit good citizenship, that are on the good success path for their educational goals, to make sure they can help me stay on track to reaching and hitting those goals. Thank you for asking that.
Thank you, Mr. Simmons.
All right. Thank you so much, Miss Destiny. They sitting here clapping and applauding you away.
Hit your girl up on Instagram. Come on, queens. I always call my queen. So hit me up on Instagram at Destiny Inspire. Period.
I will do, and you just said the magic word, period.
I speak the language. Don't let the nice dress code fool you, queens. I listen. I'm with it. I'm with it. I'm here for it. So I'm excited.
We love it. We love it. We have several Boys and Girls Club organizations that's tuning in, watching us today. And so we thank you so much for sharing in this live feed with us today. And so we're going to ask for you to stick around. And now we're going to invite Mr. Kevin Mays to come on.
Hello, hello. How are you all today? Oops, can you hear me okay?
Yes, sir. We can hear you.
Okay, sorry about that. I've had a pretty exciting morning of travel, so I'm just finally getting settled. But I really appreciate you all, and thank you so much for having me.
Yes, sir. So we're gonna jump right into our questions. So my first question is, could you describe one of your typical work days?
Man, right now, I don't even know if I'll call them days. Um, I am working probably 20 hours a day or so, allowing, some realizations that I'm having in regard to business. So I'll probably start at around 6 or 7 a.m. And, kind of just start going through my emails and, kind of analyzing some uh, new opportunities. The biggest thing right now for me is fundraising and making sure I'm providing a great foundation for the new professional basketball team that I've recently purchased, and you know, just putting the groundwork in to make sure once we tip off this upcoming April that everything is in place.
Thank you, Mr. Mays. And so my next question is, how do most people enter this profession?
Oh man, there's so many options and opportunities. I kind of revert back into what you said about some of the things that you were interested in, and I think that the variety that you're of the space that you're putting yourself in is an amazing option. Um, I started off in ticket sales, so I worked for a company based in Atlanta called the Aspire Group, and we were contracted by the NCAA. So I sold, individual tickets to women's volleyball national championships, the Final Four, the Frozen Four for hockey. I mean, anything that you could think of, we kind of sold it. And through that channel, I worked in marketing, I worked in fundraising and development, and none of those things could have, really prepared me 100% for what I'm doing now and owning a professional, franchise and professional organization, because once you get down into all the minute and small details of this project, you'd be working for 100 years trying to become a master of everything. And, I'm sure we'll get to this part of it, but, it's just, jumping in wherever you're most comfortable and then learning as you go. I think that's the easiest point to entry in any industry or any idea that you have. Start where you're comfortable, start where you feel good, and that's what worked for me. I've been an athlete my whole life, from when I was a young kid to high school to college. I played two sports in college: football and track and field, and I just couldn't see my life being any different than staying within sports, and it's led me to where we are today.
And it's funny because I actually tried out for track in seventh grade and I did not make it, so I let it go. Um,
Before I tell you a funny story, so I quit my track team in ninth grade because I just was not very successful at it. I didn't enjoy it. It wasn't a lot of fun. I quit my team, went back my sophomore year, and then by my senior year, I was a state champion, earned a scholarship, kind of traveled across the country. And, from there, when I got to college, I was a two-time All-American. I played with some great athletes. You say my freshman class, we had Antonio Brown, who now plays with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. I played with J.J. Watt, who's an all-star standout for the Houston Texans. So, we all, I won't say make mistakes, but we learn what we like and what we don't like. But I think the energy and, the momentum of life will put us exactly where we need to be. So if you, I think give it another shot. You never know where it might take you.
Yes, sir. My next question is, are there too many or too few people entering this profession?
I'll say no. The world is changing every day. I'll say the biggest advancement or the biggest, shift in momentum right now is in university sports or the NCAA and the name, image, and likeness laws. So now college athletes are able to make money off of their name, off of their image, off their likeness. Whereas before, if I was in the 2007 NCAA football game, if you go to, open up the video game, you can pick my number. It doesn't have my name, but that's my jersey. I didn't get paid for that. But now, if they were to make a video game again, or if a school wants to sell a jersey that a player's wearing on the field, they're able to get compensated for that. That opens up a whole nother realm of professional opportunities because just like you're in high school right now, you say your best friend is the best player on your football team. You could position them for an endorsement opportunity with Boys and Girls Club of Albany. Boys and Girls Club of Albany is going to give, your best friend, a $15 gift card to McDonald's, which before was a violation of NCAA rules, but now it's not. So you're able right now as a high school student, which is something that many people I know have done, are agents or marketing representatives for collegiate and professional athletes. So, I think every industry that we look at is going to continue to evolve, and we just have to be on the forefront of accepting and helping to adapt those changes. The world is such a big place, and I think as we continue to, understand how, all these things work, the better off we'll be. So no, definitely don't think that it's an oversaturated market at all.
Thank you. My last question is, what is the advancement potential in this field, and something as a typical path that people take to get where you are?
I would say, and this is something that I've kind of focused on for my own personal advancement, is never thinking small. When I was selling those hand-to-hand tickets, pretty much as we would say, my first thing was, instead of trying to sell 4 tickets at a time to, a family, which is nice, you want to make sure you're providing those opportunities, but how can I sell to 100 families at a time? So I guess my first success story and where I was able to make really my mark in the industry or in the company that I was with at the time, we were selling for the women's NCAA volleyball championships. It was being hosted in the state of Washington. I forget what city it was in, but it was really, really close to Canada. So in Canada, they have an organization that basically governs all of the volleyball teams in the country, and that goes from like AAU or youth volleyball all the way up through their adult volleyball leagues. And it ended up being like 15,000 people that they had in the database. So I made contact with the CEO basically of the organization. They sent out one email to 15,000 people. And for that whole campaign leading up to the championship, I didn't have to pick up the phone one time to make a sale. So I think, when you're thinking about advancement and being successful in whatever space you're in, is to just dream big, but not only dream big, but operate in that space. You have to take chances. You have to work outside of what the norm is. I think a lot of times we can get complacent and think that, something isn't accomplishable because we haven't done it yet. But if I hadn't taken the chances that I've taken to get to this point, I wouldn't be here. And so, that's, having vision, having an imagination, and always, having that childlike mentality, I think is always important for being successful. We As we get older and grow, you know, we sometimes start to lose that light or that fire, that passion, and I think it can cause us to kind of slow down. But in the space that I'm in, I don't have that option. I work around people of all ages, backgrounds, ethnicities, and I think it really allows for me to continue to be successful. So that's the biggest thing, I think, is to always take chances, think outside the box, and to be excited every day about what you're doing.
I've learned a lot in this short amount of time. And is there anything you want to any advice or encouragement you want to give the viewers as well as teens on how to make it through these times or 2021 as we start the
Yeah,
year?
absolutely. I mean, there's so much going on. You've got things going on in government. You've got things going on with the pandemic and sickness, and just the uncertainty of everyday life to a certain extent. And it's easy to get discouraged. It's hard to ignore those things. Um, so the first piece of advice that I would give is to, again, just stay encouraged. Find what it is that truly wakes you up in the morning, and live within that space. There are some things that are just truly out of our control sometimes, and focusing in on those things or dwelling on those things won't do anything but detract us from what our true vision, our true passions, and true motivations are. We all have something within us that is going to allow us to change the world, and whatever that is for you, I'd say just make sure that you're focusing in on that and not letting the things that are out of our control change your course. Control what you can control on an everyday basis, and the world will take care of the rest.
Thank you. I have one more question for me. What keeps you motivated to do what you do?
Man, you know, the biggest thing right now, when the opportunity came for me to purchase this team, it's just a fun and crazy idea. Who would ever think that, myself, and I still consider myself young at 31, that I could own a professional, sports team. Um, and from the first day that we made the announcement in the community, so many dominoes have fallen that is going to allow my team to have a much greater impact than I could have ever imagined. The opportunity to change the landscape of my city, which is just at 100,000 people, hopefully change the course of lives for hundreds of athletes across the country, um, and having a true impact in an industry that I love and that has shaped who I am today, and that's the industry of sports and sports business. So waking up and knowing that, I found my thing, or the thing that, really makes me tick. Always, a question that I asked myself in getting to this point every day was like, if I didn't have anything else to do today, if the world was just a blank canvas, what would I do? And every time it's been go to the gym, go play football, go do this, go do that. And I think if we ask ourselves that question on a daily basis, we'll find what our true passion and calling is in life. And it's sometimes hard because we all go through tough times, and things that go on in the world can kind of weigh us down. But, if anybody puts those sticky notes up on their bathroom mirror, or, has something that they revert to on a daily basis, other than your faith, um, that was the first question I continued to ask myself, when I was going through troubling times. If I woke up today with nothing else to do, where would I be?
Thank you for this wonderful information. And I'm turning it back over to Mr. Simmons.
Thank you.
Hey, thank you so much, Mr. Mays. I know that you're traveling and had some technical difficulties today. But we're so excited that you can take time and join us today in this broadcast. I want to ask you one critical thing as you work with players from all different types of backgrounds and all different races and nationalities. What's one common thing that you always tell the people that you work with on your team to make your team united?
The first thing is that, we all have our own trials and tribulations. At this level of sports, it's not the NBA. Everything isn't glitter and gold. Although, as a team owner, I do try to make it as inclusive and as close to, a true, NBA team as possible by giving them access to all the amenities that you would as an NBA athlete, besides the millions and millions of dollars. Um, but to make sure that we keep our goals in front of us. The athletes that we'll have on, this first team, we've got guys that have played the NBA, played in the G League, played for great overseas organizations. But then we have guys that, bounced around between 3 and 4 different college teams, had to take a chance in going overseas for opportunities, without that clean shot, directly to the NBA or the G League or whatever it is. But just giving them a true opportunity to develop. And if they never make it to the NBA, or if they never make it to, that premier place, that we're able to develop them and still give them purpose. And that when they come out on the other side of working with us at Flint United, that they can truly say that, they still have that passion, they have that space and place that they can go to be successful.
And that's good information, because one of the things that I always strive and teach our teams is to become more unified together. The stronger you are as a unit body, the more you can accomplish. And we're striving to do that each day. We always come together, have what I call general assemblies, where we come up with group agreements, how to encourage and support one another throughout the day, how to make sure that our team is stronger together so we don't have no weak links, but we all together. If one person fails and gets behind, then we all fail and get behind. And
Hmm.
so teaching them strength. So I'm so excited that you could take time today, Mr. Mays, to come and share with our teams and then to our other organizations that's watching. We shout out to you all as well for joining us today. Are there any final words you would like to share, Mr. Mays?
No, I just like to say that this is amazing. A lot of what we plan to do as a team and for our league as a whole, being truly invested in the communities that we're playing in, to see uh, young adults in you all's community, work in this space, is admirable, and I really appreciate the opportunity to speak with you all, and to see how your operation is working. It's it's more than a lot of people strive to do for their community, and I know that these opportunities are tools that your youth in the community will be able to use and grow with for a long time. So major shout out to you all. I greatly appreciate the opportunity to speak with you guys, and I hope to make it down to Albany to visit you all in person one day.
Hey, you are more than welcome. You and Miss Destiny are more than welcome to make it to Albany, Georgia. We'll treat you with good Southern hospitality.
Absolutely, I appreciate that.
Hey, most times when we get people from Detroit, they say they don't like sweet tea like that.
No, no, not this way. I'll take it all.
So, listen, I so hate that we're in the situation we're in, and you all aren't able to visit our clubs and see the wonderful things that we're doing. Mrs. Shamar Lane is one of our former Youth of the Year candidates, which is an elite program that we identify students from different clubs and units to represent our organizations and to do things like this here, to be in the forefront for our team program. So he is one of the baddest organ players that you can see as a teenager.
Woo, woo.
And so,
Okay.
so if y'all ever need any music or anything for any background, he handles all my media here at the Boys and Girls Club. He does all of our music, so he is good in what he does in technology. And so, any words, Mr. Shamar, you would like to share and thank them for being a part of the program today?
No, I just want to thank them for being a part and thank you for giving me the opportunity to interview these entrepreneurs and very successful people
Absolutely.
today.
No, for sure. I want to say one more thing there. The league that we're in, we do have a team in Atlanta, the Atlanta Empire. So I would love to connect you guys with them and see if there's any ways that we can, activate the two brands with one another. So I'll be passing that information along to you guys as well.
Gotcha. Thank you so much for that. And listen, our children love sports now. So they would love the opportunity to come and share. And also, this won't be the last time that you all connect with us at the Boys and Girls Club. Miss Destiny, our girls have already asked for a girls' night.
Listen, I'm here for it. We love to see it. We love to see it. So I want to
And
encourage the
so,
Boys and Girl Club to, continue to be an advocate and continue to be the choice for parents, communities, and organizations, and keep doing what you guys are doing.
hey, thank y'all so much, Mr. Mays. Our boys said they want to have a one-on-one conversation with you and the team one day. So we will
Absolutely.
look forward to setting that up. So if there's nothing else, y'all, we can wave goodbye to our audience. And hey, we'll see you all back next Thursday for another Career on Wheel segment. Everybody have a wonderful Thursday.
Thank you, Mrs. Simmons.
Thank
Have a
you.
good day.
You all.